So hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Shift Happens. I'm really excited about our conversation today with Sue, who is amongst so many different modalities, a soul healer and shamanic practitioner. So welcome Sue. Hi.
Hello.
So tell me a little bit about what it is, what it means to be a soul healer.
First and foremost, I want to say I didn't choose the name soul healer. Nowadays, I think it's a bit pretentious, because I understand, and I suppose a lot of us understand, that no one can heal your soul but yourself.
Yeah.
We're holders of space for others to enable. But when I retired, I was a mental health learning disability nurse for 37 years. And when I was coming up to retirement, I'd always, in the background, read as a psychic medium. And I was a healer, a spiritual healer, trained with the NFSH. So I was getting ready to launch myself into my own sort of work, really, very nervously thinking, this isn't going to work, retirement at 55. And I asked Spirit what I should call myself. And they just said soul healer. And that was what they gave me, and I couldn't get anything else. So it sort of flowed with the Sue Phillips thing. So it's stuck, They say don't change your name too often, and I'm not that bothered about it. It's a label, isn't it, really?
But I think it's lovely, soul healer.
It is a nice something to, a label, something to hang on something. But I have done a post over the past few months about, the fact that I don't heal your soul. I just create an environment for you to work with your own soul and grow and develop into whatever it is you need to. And we all need help. I think some people can do the journey alone, which is fantastic. But personally speaking, I've needed help. I've needed help, throughout my journey, not being able to see things. It's the worst thing, isn't it? As individuals, you can't see something if you've got your nose against the glass.
Absolutely.
Or if you do see it, it's distorted because you're looking through the bathroom window.
Yes, I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That looks a bit warped.
Yeah.
It is warped because we're seeing it from a perspective of personality, we're seeing it from ego, we're seeing it from all those various aspects of ourselves.
Yeah.
So sometimes we go and get help. And I think I am one of those people that people can come to and get that help.
Yeah. So what do you actually do? What help do you offer people?
Okay, so quite a wide range of things, which of late has culminated in what I call the soul medicine session. So I'm a sound healer, so I trained as a psychic medium, first of all, foremost at Arthur Findlay College. So I've been there half a dozen times over a period of years. I've worked and served spiritualist churches. This one in Wolverhampton is quite a big one. I've been there many times. NFSH healer. Those were early doors things, like in my 20s. I started all that. And then because I've experienced my own past life as a child, and many, lots of things, past lives, but I had a very early experience at the age of 3. I was just very much aware of the soul not being just who I'm seeing here today. So like Paula and Kerry, I look at people, and it's almost like I'm seeing a big crystal, and it spins, and then it just rests. And when it rests, it's like I go through the portal of that face of that piece of crystal. There are many, aren't there? But at the time, when I ask the guides to work, and your guides and my guides, once you're booked in the diary, they're already working. And something's been working before that to guide them to me. So it's like going through a corridor, like a portal of your soul. I get communication through intuition. I think a lot of people, just to digress slightly, a lot of people expect intuition to come almost like it's going to be written Like you're going to see it written, or you're going to hear a voice that's going to say, "This is what you do." It doesn't work. It doesn't. No, it doesn't work. So I get intuition, and however that works, about how to lead you, what to do with you. So that's like a soul medicine session. So it could take the hypnotherapy, which I'd studied. Qualify only because I wanted to do past lives. I don't really like people go, "Oh, can you do me a gastric band?"
Yeah.
And I go, "No." No.
Past life?
Yes. Eating disorder from past life because you were starved.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that.
My daughter was from the dying rooms in China.
Really?
My third child, digressing again. Yeah, so I'll tell that one in a minute. So, so there's the past life, the hypnotherapy, and the hypnotherapy. I use hypnagogic language throughout all I do.
Yeah.
I'm trained in NLP first and foremost as a nurse, but then as a practitioner. I'm trained as a coach. I've also trained in a small course in breath work, journey work with Brandon Bay's theory, which is they're just different ways of finding and accessing the blocks that we hold energetically. And then I trained shamanically in Cornwall because my roots are Celtic. A Celtic father, and we've recently, past few years, found out my mum's, who's a Geordie from North East. I can tag Geordie if you like, Her granddad is also Cornish, so it's quite a strong link. And I really wanted to train there. I don't know, I was just looking for a course in shamanism, and there was one in Scotland that didn't feel right. There was one here, and I went to a festival, and people weren't as friendly as we thought they'd be at this festival. So we went to the healing place, and there was this board, and I wanted to see my course listed, what I was going to do. And there it was on a board, and I went, "This is it." And his name was Derek Gain. And thank you, Derek. And my dad's name is Derek, and Derek was from Cornwall.
Oh, there
so
you
that
go.
was it.
That was it.
Yeah. So if you were to go on my link tree, you would see a shamanic healing session separately listed. You would see past life regression separately listed, because some people want to do just that, which is fine. They can do just that. Then you see soul medicine session, and if you click on it and read it all, it just basically means I utilise the shamanic tools. So the drum is always there throughout the sessions, because the drum will support us to access the subconscious mind much quicker than any other tool that we have. So I can take you there verbally in the hypnosis, but I use that as well as the drum, so people really go quickly. And it affords us to shift and change things much quicker than a lot of talking therapies. Not that I have anything against talking therapies. I'm qualified in counselling methods in my mental health practice, And I think some people need that, and that's a way in. But sometimes people need a deeper process. And sometimes people, they just have relationships. When I was reading at Psychic Sisters in London, I used to get people come and they'd say, I'm going to, about relationships. And I remember one Arab lady wanting to talk about her relationships. And if I remember rightly, I said, well, that's never going to work. Your marriage is never going to work, because this man over here, the one that he's a past life. It's a past life thing, and you've got a contract with him, so you can. I see, feel, and sense soul contracts. So I also access the Akash, the Akashic records, and I've never done a course in Akashic records. I've never needed to, and I've never sold any of the work I do as saying that. But I think. I'm getting on in life now, so I've become more aware of where I am energetically. And on which plane I'm working. So from 3D, I can move up to 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th dimensions, and then up into the Akash. So I can access your records quite readily and easily. If that's what your soul needs, and all of this is done, it's all seamlessly done. It's just all ready in place because of the level, the way I've been building over the 30 years
Yeah. So something that really fascinates me is, and because it's something that I don't have access to yet, is mediumship.
Mm-hmm.
Were you one of these people that at an early age?
You know, they told me you were going to ask this.
Did they?
They did, yeah.
I'm fascinated
just while I was when I was arriving and waiting, they told me I was going to ask. That's so funny. I was actually on the loo. Was I one of the? I wasn't one of those people that see spirits.
Yeah.
I wasn't trouble. I was really blessed.
Yeah.
And I know that that's because I've been born with a lot of protection. So I think I've done a lot of work in many lives.
Yeah.
On this sort of spiritual level. So no, I didn't see spirit, but I sensed spirit, and I sensed your soul. So there is a story. I think it's going to be when the book gets done. It's the story of when my grandma took me on the bus, and we didn't go on the bus very often. And Grandma took me on the bus, and I was about 3. A lot happened when I was about 3. I got off this seat and I went to sit with this old man. And my grandma's going, "Susan, come here. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sitting with Father Christmas," because he felt like Father Christmas.
Yeah, he just had that nice
kind
energy. Yeah.
And then I looked across. Remember the buses when they had the 2 settee type seats facing each other?
Yeah.
You're too young.
Yeah, I remember those.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
They're like,
and he'd step down into that bit as well.
And there was like
sometimes.
a straight, yeah.
Yeah.
So this man was sat on there, and I looked at him and I thought, no, you're not nice.
Yeah.
And I knew he wouldn't be nice to me.
Yeah.
It's just like your hair's brown, your hair's blonde. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
To look at somebody and feel their energy and know. If I chose to open the door into that, I can find out a lot more, which is how you read people.
Yeah.
With permission,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So that was like the first memory I think I've got of realising something was going on. I did see the odd dead ghost or whatever you want to call spirit, because people call them lots of names. One in my grandma's hall. But I just felt them around me. So I think when I was told just a minute ago that you were going to ask that question, I was thinking, what shall I say? And I think I was blessed in a way, because I really didn't want to be plagued. You know, a lot of people get plagued and they can't control it and they don't know what to do about it and all of that. So, yeah, I just have... I've always had an understanding that they are people without the physical body, the 3D body. So I speak to them as such.
Yeah.
And I can sense where that soul is at, just like you would meet somebody who might have a bit more awareness of spiritual life, and then you might meet somebody who hasn't.
Yeah.
We're all on different levels. So a spirit. So working as a medium and a clairvoyant and psychic, that happens a lot. You know, people will come for readings. It's years ago, and been doing it, and asking questions about their parents or their family, and I said, was your dad able to do that when he was alive? And he went, no, I don't think he's learnt it yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think they're going to acquire IQ. Information.
Yeah.
They think they're going to cross over, they're going to acquire all of this knowledge and understanding straight away. And they can be free of everything. As soon as they literally transition, we can be free. But we sometimes carry with us our understanding, our burdens from our thinking processes that have been indoctrinated during the 3D life. And that takes time to heal. So I often see people transition into a healing place, which quite often looks like a pure white, very bright white waiting room on a train track for some, those waiting rooms.
That makes me think of The Matrix when you've just
I have never watched The Matrix, but I know the film.
There's a train track and he gets off at certain...
I've never watched the film.
It's on, have you
but
not?
I know what it's about.
Yeah.
I'll have to sit and watch it one day. It was a friend of mine passed, and we'd met at Lee Castle Hospital when I was a student nurse. And he used to read the tarot. Anyway, we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and then we managed, to meet again. And then he passed, and I felt, I've been diddledy. I haven't had him back long. And I remember seeing him in this waiting area, thinking, what are you doing waiting there? And it was on, the middle bit in between the trains, that glass like we have. But it was like bright, like spirit light. Like if you've been up there, you know, and if you've experienced spirit in meditation, that the divine, universal life force, Mother, Father, God, divine, is pure bright white light. And it's like that. So sometimes people hang around there for a while.
Because I'm always fascinated by this.
The process.
The process.
So when our body transitions, the soul leaves the body, just as an aside, this isn't to do with anything really, but it leaves the body from the feet up.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So, the Scandinavians do a beautiful thing. They make little doorways in their headboard, so they open them for the soul to go up.
I love that.
So do I. That's why I share it when I can.
Yeah.
So when we're healing somebody in death, you can literally feel that there's nothing there. And I've quite often been given healing through death at a distance, and I've been on the phone to somebody and said, I think they're up to their knees now, or they're up to their hips now. And whoever's been with them said, yeah, I can feel that. So we transition, and sometimes I see these, that's why people go to this in between stage. And there are many cultures in our world, and a lot of them say that don't contact the dead for 12 months, you should leave them well alone. And, there's a lot of cultures that say you shouldn't talk to the dead, let them rest, let them settle. Well, I wish I'd had that memo. My soul has not received that. Because I'm one of those unusual mediums that can get a message as soon as the person's passed. Like I can be speaking to them as soon as they've transitioned.
Really?
Yeah. So it happens a lot. And I find that it's really because they want to check in with everybody. Everybody's okay. Is everybody all right? They cope with it. You know what I mean? And I've had a lot of tragic passings, which is really difficult for people. Yeah. So they come and they have that conversation. Is everybody okay? Blah, blah, blah. And then you might not be here for them for a while.
Yeah.
So sometimes people can come and have readings, like a couple of readings, and they're all, full on communicating. And then it's like they go quiet for a while. And then there's a period of, because you're assigned an angel, you're assigned a guardian. For me, for a soul guardian, which travels with your soul. And then for this incarnation, you would have an angel for this specific incarnation. Yeah. So they would guide and help you. They may not be the ones that would help you because they can't do everything. So it's just like a specialist in whatever you need help with. And when I was a child, I was taken over to the spirit world and shown. And they showed me then, it was like a hospital. So it was like a hospital where people can go to repair. Now, that's just for my mind to be able to understand it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the sort of support and help that is available. And it's available on different levels and different planes because, as we said earlier, we're not all at the same level of understanding.
Sorry, I've got a burning question.
Oh, yeah.
Based on a conversation we had this morning, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this So as a psychic medium giving readings to people, what are your thoughts on mediums that will tell people that they possibly are going to be in a car accident or death is coming their way?
Because in the face change automatically as soon as you've asked the question.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Because I had a conversation with somebody about this, and I'll tell you what their answer was, but I just wanted to know what your thoughts were.
Tell me their answer. I won't change mine.
Okay, so their answer was, because I said I I disagree with this because you don't know where that person is on their journey mentally, where they are. And the answer was, I trust in spirit, and whatever spirit brings to me, it's because they're ready to hear it. So in that case, that it's okay to say that information, because spirit wouldn't have given it to me if that person couldn't have handled that information.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When I was trained, I'll go to the training first and foremost. We were trained not to give information about deaths or passings.
Mm-hmm.
As I was trained, you don't do that. Having said that, you can count on one hand the amount of times I have.
Mm-hmm.
Again, back to Psychic Sister days, and people have wanted to know about things, and I can communicate with guides and other family members of their lineage as to how and what's going on. And then I will intimate, ask, is there anyone in the family that has this condition, or because I can see it, and feel into how they are with it.
Yes.
If the feeling is, if the person's, oh yes, they're aware, if they're very aware, then I will, and I have, and we've had a lovely conversation which has helped even more with the hope of the transition and the understanding. So on that level, yes. But this is partly why I stopped working at Psychic Sisters, and I've got regulars and people who still have readings, but I'm more known for, people come for mediumship rather than, I've never been a fortune teller. I've never been somebody that will predict. However, spirit do give me information, and sometimes if I know that you're meant to have it, I will give it, but not about you're going to have a car crash, not even about you're going to trip up a step, not even about, no. Because I've also got a degree in behavioural science. So I've got an applied psychotherapist degree as well as my 2 other nursing degrees. And I know that my suggesting that to you can make you just think about, I'm going to slip, I'm going to fall up a step, I'm going to this. I had a medium say something to me about being on the escalators in London going to Psychic Sisters. Now, that could have been jealousy because they were in Psychic Sisters. Because that was the feeling. Every time I stepped on the escalator, I was like clinging to it. Because it was in my head every time I was on an escalator in London. Never did.
Yeah.
But the chances are that you could. Now, then, if it did happen, how would we know? Which came first? Was it going to happen anyway? Or did it happen because you suggested it?
And maybe some of these things need to happen.
They're
that. Part of our journey and lessons.
And they may happen with or without my say-so.
Yes.
Without me saying, oh, I think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I just found it really fascinating.
I've said to a lot of young women, are you planning a family?
Because they're pregnant.
I know I can see the baby.
Oh gosh, can you?
Hanging around them, and the baby's talking to me, and no, not for a while. I said, oh, okay. So if you're not ready, I would just use belt and braces because there is a baby energy in your field, which is ready to come when you're ready, or
so
not.
Cross your legs, girl.
Or not so ready.
Someone's coming.
And I had the same with my 2 girls. I was healing at a healing centre in Erdington at the time, and the guy was very spiritually minded, and he said, going to have babies, and I said, yeah, I'm going to have 2. I don't know whether I already had the one, I can't remember. And he said, 2 really close together, and I said, yeah, about 18 months, 2 years, that'd be nice. He went, I went, no, because I could feel it as well. It was like,
really?
I went, no, just no. And there's 12 months, 3 weeks between my girls.
It's funny, isn't it? The things that I mean, I've not been able to have children in this lifetime. And yet, when I was a young girl, I came into this world knowing that I'd made the choice not to have them. And my grandma always says to me, she remembers me saying to her when I was about 8 or 9, I'm not having any children, Grandma, I can't have them.
Which is why I don't feel the urge to say I'm sorry to you for that.
No, because I know.
I don't, because sometimes I do.
Yeah.
If people say that, you can feel the grief attached to it.
Yeah.
And there's a lesson in that grief, because it's how we work through it and how we manage it. And but you've already, I felt like you already had that sorted.
Yes, yeah, I have. I've dealt with it. But but I've often wondered, because I told myself from such a young age, I often wonder whether I manifested not having them.
I would say that you had.
I made that choice.
Well, you're very spiritual, Paula. You've got a very good awareness of your own soul. In my short experience of knowing you, and I think that would be part of your soul contract. So you're in between life stuff that we're not supposed to remember, but we do have some recollection of the contract. And potentially. Perhaps children would have been an interference in other things that you were learning or doing, and not just for this life.
Yeah, but it's funny how some things you just know. This is a funny little story, but seeing Chunky Paula, you'll know. When I was a child, when I used to walk home at lunchtime, my mum worked, and sometimes she'd come home for lunch, and if she came home from lunch, she'd leave us a sneaky cake. Right, and I would walk home from school and I would know whether there was a cake or not.
Yeah.
And if I knew there was a cake, I would walk a little bit faster. And I knew.
I think you could do
every time whether there was a cake.
I'm just wondering, did you visualise that in your head? Like, could you see the kitchen and the cake on the side?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're remote viewing.
Oh.
That's what it's called.
I keep telling Kerry she remote views.
Yeah, well, so do you. And a lot of us do, but don't realise what we're doing. But governments obviously utilise people like us and train them up even to higher standards.
We've got somebody on to talk about that.
I think it's fascinating.
So I remote view, and I've always been aware of it. So my sister's in Cornwall, as I said earlier, and I used to ring her, and she'd always be in the bath. And I think, so I thought, right, I'll just go and see if she's free. So I'll go down, have a look around the house, see if she's in the bath or not before I used to ring her.
Really? Love that.
But she's my sister, so it's not like, I could go knock a door in physicality and walk around the house if she was in the bath. So it's not like I'm interfering. So I used to run development circles, psychic development circles. Yeah. And there was a woman in the development circle, and there was a guy there who had feelings for her, but she was married. Anyway, she went on holiday. I think it was a cruise. And he was saying, he was messaging her describing what she was wearing when she got out of the bath or shower on this cruise.
Do you think he was remote viewing?
Yeah, he was remote viewing. She went, bonkers, obviously, as you would, because it's another layer of privacy, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
So, and brings me to the point of boundaries, really, and it's really hard in spiritual life to understand, those levels of boundaries.
Yeah.
In everyday life, anyway. Never mind spiritual life.
Yeah.
So, behind all the fantastic work that you do, who is Sue?
Oh gosh, did you see that post I put up the other day? Because it's like I've always lived, eaten and breathed spirituality, because I always said it is who I am, really. And I think part of so part of being me in this incarnation is to manifest peace and tranquility and joy and happiness while being spiritual, because I've been punished so many times for being so. So I think I'm getting there now. Where it's took a long time, but I've worked with a business coach, stopped doing the work with her now, but I was working with her for about 12 months, 18 months. Amazing woman. To sort of get rid of that imposter syndrome stuff, that, and the fear of being seen and all of that. And I was working with her, but all of the other stuff that I do, but all of a sudden it's like I don't shiver get, Okay.
Yeah, which is I think that's such an empowering
I mean, you
place
do
to
a little bit,
Yeah.
It is sad if people don't like you. Yeah. Oh, you don't know what you're missing. No, But you know what I mean? It is like you've got to lose people on the journey, and that is that's a little bit sad. But no, but so it was really funny. Somebody said, one of my clients said, ask ChatGPT, what they think about you, who you are after all the sharing. So I did that, and they basically said that I need to spend more time on who I am, not just so it's really comical. And I was like, okay.
That question
was downloaded. Yeah.
I download all my questions.
Exactly. And it's been that's why, because we're all in the mesh.
Yeah.
And that's been a thing this week. Just this week.
Oh, has it?
And it made me feel very uncomfortable, because I was thinking, yeah. And I was thinking about it on the way here.
Yeah.
Again, they were telling me questions, and I thought, well, I'm a mom, because I'm a grandma, and I'm a daughter. And then I was thinking, am I some sado that only talks about work?
No, but it's not work, is it?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's.
I remember the GP or the student doctor I went to when I had my cyst, which I knew was cancer. I remember him saying, I think you need some time off, because I was in a very stressful position. I was managing a forensic unit. And he said, have you got a hobby? And I said, well, yes. But I said, what I do on the side, because I was still nursing, is my hobby, but it's not a hobby because I just love it. It's just like my way of life. I love it. And he said, oh, what's that? I said, I'm a medium, a psychic healer. And he said, what does that mean? I said, it means that Grandad George, who passed 3 months ago, I want you to know that he's okay. And that something about the walking stick or the golf. I can't remember what I told him, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
I said, and he said, and cousin, you do such and such with your cousin Paul. He went,
and that's what I do.
And that's what I do. Yeah.
How did you know about Grandad? I said, well, because he's here, there, and he's just told me all those things. He said, I only have one cousin Paul. I said, yeah. Anyway, he recommended me have 2 weeks off sick. So I was so stressed.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah.
Go on, you go.
No, you.
So because of the line of work that you do, why the people that come to you, what are the type of the people that kind of connect with you, and what do you think they're searching for?
Feels a bit uncomfortable saying the type of people, because we're labelling, aren't we? And that gives a subjective view of a judgment. So I don't know about that phrase.
I'm trying to think of another word.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's not a criticism. It's just, but it does change. So we've talked about it already. So while I was at Psychic Sisters, I used to go mad, because I would say, if I have another person, it's a specific type of person, but I won't. If I have another person that sits in front of me and asks, when am I going to meet my husband? I will scream, because we could say there's a group of people that only have readings because they want to know when they're going to get married, when they're going to have babies. So that's what,
Yes.
And I needed to move away from that, because it's never, ever, ever. I really couldn't shiver about that. What I care about is your soul, where you're at. Are you happy within your own soul? And that brings other joys and other experiences the happier you are. So that had to go. So I had to stop working at Psychic Sisters, and I had other things going on with my family. My grandchildren needed care. And so it sort of all came to a point where I said to Jane, I'm not going to come anymore, going up and down to London, but she still calls on me if she needs anything in the Midlands. So that's like one type of person, which I've never felt is my niche anyway. To then it's really all about soul growth and support, and different people know me for different things. So like people would talk to certain people about my regression and the past life stuff. So then they'd talk about that, and then I'd have people interested in that. But I've noticed since I've really let go of a lot and been more vulnerable in my own self and my own offerings, and allowed myself to be seen, the people who are turning up are people who want to do the depth of the work that I can do. And part of the thing that ChatGPT told me was that not everybody can go to that depth.
Yeah.
And some people like, the softer, lighter stuff. I didn't answer ChatGPT, I just left the conversation there. But, it's like, for those people who come to my cacao ceremonies, so a cacao ceremony with drum healing, a shamanic drum healing, and meditation, and a sound bath, and they can be lovely. They can be just drink your cacao, a nice relaxing sound bath, but they can be really, really deep. And a lot of people have used them just as therapeutic interventions because it's a cheap way to get a really deep process. And I support people, so I wouldn't send you home in a way that isn't practical. There's a lot of bit that happened. So if you're on a journey of soul exploration and you're not sure how to get over that hurdle or how to get out of that muddy patch you just feel like you're stuck in, and if you can't see anything, you just feel like you're stuck in the dark, I should be able to help you.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. I really believe at the moment that, I think everyone that I'm talked to at the minute believes that there's really something going on with humanity at the moment. There's this real kind of divide happening almost between this kind of 3D, AI and then spiritual people. And do you believe that more people are, and I hate this word, but I don't know what else, so maybe you guys can waking up. I think it's terrible terminology. I mean, I don't know what else to use to describe it, but do you think more people are becoming more aware of their souls and living a more, I'm going to say awakened again. I don't want to say that word, but do you?
For real, yeah. But I mean, we can take a snapshot of, I was working at the Soul Revolution Festival a few weeks ago. We could take a snapshot of that and transpose it over some footage, perhaps. These guys could perhaps do it.
Yeah.
From the 60s.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be very far removed, would we, really?
No.
So they were, they were called hippies. They were called all sorts of things, weren't they? But peace and love, if you, remember Lennon and Yoko Ono, having the love in, and they were awakened. There were, and there was that sort of niche or that group of people then. Nowadays, it's I agree. It is so much more, and it needs to be. It needs to be. The world and the earth needs it. But there are so many the youngsters, the children. I mean, we would have been labelled as cheeky or lippy.
Yeah.
For the way they speak and the way they assert their authority over adults and the way they know. But these are starseeds, and they're coming to help rule our our countries and step in where we've had such misdirection and as a race. Yeah. But I think, all the trainings and everything all the courses and things that people can do now, it's so much more readily available. It's like, you can pick it off the shelf at Tesco's, really, virtually. Go on the internet and find a course. It's readily available. Yeah. And some of the tutors I had at Stansted talked about being hit with placards going in and out of spiritualist churches.
Yeah, I can.
That's back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, even in, 2010, I think I was in Norfolk, and I worked in a crystal shop, used to do with a healing centre underneath, and, just to do different holistic modalities there. And there was a church next door, and they wouldn't have anything to do with us. They thought we were absolutely disgusting. Yeah. And that's, 2010.
Yeah. We used to run a little spiritualist shop at the side of the Unitarian church. So the Unitarians are really open-minded to all of the religions. It's the only church, really, that is.
Which I think at the end of the day, if you look at the core beliefs, the real core beliefs of all religions, it is about kindness and love. It's loving kindness. That's it. It's just...
But unfortunately, we have humans that sort of start to take interest in these religions, and then it becomes about power. Yeah. And then it becomes about finance and money.
Yeah. So how do you think, if we are, we've got lots of star seeds, as you say, incarnating now, how do you think all of us that are here during this tumultuous time, how do you think we're helping to raise the consciousness of humanity with our bits, the bits that we're doing?
It's a collective, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like any energy. If you look at physics, and you can, if you look at the molecular structure of mercury, when it's left to its own devices, it all comes and clumps together, doesn't it? So all of that energy that's been raised, we're raising the vibration not only of ourselves but of the whole planet. I mean, the earth does it for us, and it saddens me to see so many rainforests and trees being destroyed, because how do people think we're going to survive without them? So they do the major bulk of that work. But energetically, we're raising the vibration of ourselves and of the race. So it's a bit like the Mayans, isn't it?
Yes.
They vanished because they vibrated so high and so fast that they couldn't be seen. So it's a similar thing. So the more people that become aware, the more the vibration changes. I mean, sound healing was like poo-poo, doesn't it, for a long time? That's quite readily available now, isn't it?
Well, what I should say to people is, if you want to become aware, just go to Sue's drumming circle.
We've mentioned your drumming circle on about 3 of our episodes.
I love it.
Oh, good.
I've been drawn to drum for such a long time, and then I met Kerry, and Kerry said, "Oh my God, you've got to come to the
She's
drumming
been the best.
circle." I know.
She gets free entrance.
Kerry the fixer.
Free entry, Kerry.
Yeah.
She brings that many people.
And it's just magnificent. I can't think of another word to say.
Thank you so much.
Magnificent. The feeling that you get from drumming in unity, with people. And when we were drumming the other
week, you're
week,
not just drumming
to the
with
men
people, though.
No, I know. Lots
It's
of,
because of all the spirit.
I know, but you guys feel them. I don't feel them yet. I do feel them, actually. That's not true, but I think I'm not aware that I feel them. I have a knowing of things.
You were talking about the men and women, weren't you?
Yeah, the men and women. When the men were drumming, Donna and I were putting our drums on our heart, and you could just feel the vibration. It was just magic. And then when you take us on a journey, it brought a past life up for me. A witch doctor was a very nasty witch doctor.
Oh, that's good.
And it's
good that you own it. Yeah,
I still think of him. I need to do some work. Put something to bed there, because
we keep talking about doing some work. Yeah.
I know.
It's good that you're embracing him, because we've all done things.
Yeah.
It's not just all roses around the door. We all haven't been wonderful every life. So it's good, because there's something to learn from that.
Yes.
And he will have given you knowledge and information that you'll be afraid to use. But once you've forgiven yourself for that, which will be part of a one-to-one process. So we'd work through bringing him in, you having a little conversation, and then healing it. Talking about it, embracing it. And then it's what we call in shamanic terms, which I'll be teaching on my shamanic year-long course. Just to get that in. Get that one in. It's called power retrieval.
Yay.
So what happens is we relinquish a lot of our power through fear and judgment and shame. Shame's a biggie. So that we leave it, and it just gets left somewhere in the ether, somewhere. And that's when the shaman, I sort of utilise your gifts. So I take people on journeys. So I don't just, when you teach shamanic practice, I'll teach you how to journey for someone else and for yourself. But when you're journeying for someone else, and I was taught we just journey, and then we come back, or either blow the power back into the person, the soul essence back into the person, and we explain the whole what we've seen, what's happened to them afterwards. The way I work in soul medicine is I take you with me on the journey. So I make sure that we can, I make sure that hypnagogically get you to communicate with me. So we're talking, not all the time, but I'll say, so I'm in there guiding you to have the journey to connect with your soul essence. So it's not me doing the work for you. I just find it really important to include people. And some people can't, so I still can do it for them, which is fine. It's just, I think it's really powerful if you can see, feel, sense, or just know. Some people can't see, but they can feel it.
I just...
And he's holding a lot of your power. There's a lot of your power that out of shame that you feel guilt for misuse. I've got a little story about a life of mine like that. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So I was a community nurse working with children in community, and I had to visit this little girl about self-help skills. She wasn't very good at helping herself. So I went to the house, knocked the door, and I heard, "Come in." So I went in. "We're in the bathroom," like this. So I went, "Come upstairs." So I went upstairs, and this mum was bathing her little girl. She was about 5, 6. She's small, has a learning disability. So she's small for her age. And her mum looked at me and she said, "Oh, you're one of us then?" And I knew what she meant, like she was a witch and I was a witch. And I said, "Oh, yeah. Anyway, got out the bath, got downstairs, and I needed to see her eat and drink to see how much, what her skills were. So Mum said she won't do anything for me. She won't even pick those little 2-handled cups up. She wouldn't even do that. So I looked at her and I said, "You're going to have a drink?" So, put the cup. And she just stared at me and she took a drink. And then it was the same with the food. She looked at me and thought about it and then did it. So as she's looking at me, I could see this figure of a woman in her eyes. In both eyes, I could see this woman in black. And she had sleeves not dissimilar to these. And she was like, a bit like Snow White, the black.
Yeah.
And she was, and she was in this tower. And then there was this eagle that flew in. And he was caught, made a noise. And I thought, oh, she wasn't very nice in a past life. Thinking it was the little girl. 2 years later, I had a visit from the eagle. And I was like, "Go away." I was asleep and I could see his eye. And he was wanting to take me on a journey. And I was like, wouldn't have anything to do with him. So I sort of looked into it. It was me I was seeing in her eyes.
Really?
Not her. Oh. And I'd been horrible to children, which was why she took a drink and ate her food when I told her to, because she was frightened.
Oh, gosh.
She was
wow.
like, "Yeah, I better do that because she's asked me, So I had this whole download about a past life where I wasn't very nice to kids. I didn't see any more than that. I didn't need to. You know what I mean? I did not need to. I don't need to see it. Don't need to know what I did. I just know.
Yeah.
But I did run playgroups and the kids were a bit... Once they got... They were like... Yeah. They were... But once they got used to my ways, because I used to do a bit of play on the floor and then a bit of table work and Macaton and stuff. I used to assess them actually for the statement and procedure, so see what... They loved me in the end because I was quite firm, my boundaries were firm, and a lot of the mums wanted me to move in and live at their house.
Like what's that lady's name who goes and sorts people's children out?
The nanny.
the nanny, super nanny or whatever she is. Oh.
Very similar.
Yeah. Well, so I could talk to you forever.
Yes.
I really could. We have just touched the tip of the iceberg. So you must come back and,
I'd love to
talk to us. I just love it all. It just lights my fire.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really
spiritual
really does.
Life.
Yeah, it's a wonderful life.
It's interesting being opposite you because I can really feel your presence. You've got such a powerful presence and strength about you, but you've also got such depth and warmth.
Thank you.
And and that love inside you as well. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm glad that shows because I think I'm an Aquarian, so I used to be a bit standoffish.
I'm Aquarius.
Yeah, I think people say that we can be like that a little bit.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff that I've worked through with the gift of being wounded and witch wound and stuff can give us that a little bit. But I think I've always been a kind, warm, caring soul.
Yeah, you have got warmth.
Yeah, so that's lovely. Thank you for saying that.
No. Well, where can people, obviously we'll put your details in the description box, but where can people find you? What do you call yourself? A website?
So the easiest way to get hold of me is through Facebook or Instagram, as Sue Phillips Soul Healer. I have a link tree, which is on both, where you can book or just direct message me through those mediums. I do like a 15-minute free chat if you really like. I don't know what's going on. You can have a little free chat with me, and we can talk about whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
And then would you like to finish off with some final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom. Are you two coming on the long Shamanic program?
I am.
That's what I want to know. It's growing.
Is it?
Paula, it's growing. It's like more I'm diving into it. It's really, really beautiful.
It's fab, isn't it? It's what you're meant to be.
So that starts in November for those who don't know.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Along with drum birthing. Yeah, let me think. What could I say? Hold on. Miki na kumuya chiki ala kuwa ni miki ola ya kumuya chiki liya kumuya tu. So that was one of the female guides, and she was just bringing so much love and presence into this funny place with plastic jungle. She says there is this sort of like bubble here of love and light, and it doesn't only stay here. Know that you are shooting upwards and outwards into the ether of everywhere. So it's like being acknowledged. That's what they're saying. They're acknowledging and seeing the work that you're doing.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. It's really nice to receive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, pleasure.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode with the lovely Sue. Please let us know what you are thinking, how we doing, how we getting on, and also look at our mugs. Does anyone want a mug? We have these Shift Happen mugs. The first person to comment on this podcast, I am going to post you out a mug. So get commenting. The first person to comment. Come on, shifters. You can do this.